All right, welcome. This is our funeral service, the Nanochemistry Project, and I've decided to make my topic on livor mortis, and we will talk about that today. Uh, Oftentimes, we bring decedents into the funeral home for prep, and I would see the bottom third of their body, had they been laying on their back, was discolored in a kind of a reddish purplish color, and I often wondered what that was. I kind of figured that it was probably pooling of blood, but I didn't really know what it was. But after I've studied this topic, I did discover that that was indeed livor mortis, and that's what we'll be talking about today. All right, livor mortis is the fourth of the 7 signs of postmortem death, and a result of the heart no longer pumping and moving blood through the body. As you can see over here, livor mortis, first you have is pallor mortis, algor mortis, rigor, and liver is that fourth stage in early decomposition of the body. Now, what is livor mortis? Livor mortis, or lividity, is the gravitational pooling of blood in the dependent parts of the body, both externally in the skin capillaries and venules, but also in internal organs. Why does livor mortis happen? When death occurs, the cells in the body begin to decay in a process known as autolysis. And there's a breakdown of cells in the blood vessels, and they will become stagnant. The red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets will begin to pull in the direction of gravity. And this stagnation and pooling of blood corpuscles leads to the physical change of livor mortis. Okay, here are a couple examples of livor mortis. As you can see, this person was more than likely lying on their back when they passed away, and you can see the discoloration, the bluish purple color here, and you can see there's some white marks here. We'll talk about that here in just a few moments. I'm going to assume that this person might have been laying on their stomach when they passed away, judging from the white blanching here. Again, we'll talk about that. Here's another colorful example, more of a red color, probably had not been passed away too long before when this picture was taken. All right, now what are these color changes, and why are there color changes in the skin? The changes after the death is known as hypostasis and results in a dark discoloration of the skin. The red blood cells become deoxygenated. And as you can see over here, here are another couple of examples of livor mortis. After 12 hours, that becomes a staining, and we'll explain that a little bit later. Here's a good example of livor mortis on a person who might have been lying on their back after they passed away. And you can see that bottom third of the body is where that pooling of the blood occurs. All right, livor mortis literally means death color. The red blood cell breakdown and spill contents. The hemoglobin turns purple when it spills, and a purplish color is visible wherever the blood pools, and what we call that lividity. All right, when does it set in? Okay, you can actually start to see the beginning of livor mortis 20 to 30 minutes after death, appearing as dull red patches. After 3 to 4 hours, a bluish purple discoloration is visible. And during that time, pressure can affect the appearance of livor mortis. Pressure can cause blanching, and once removed, will return to its color pattern. And then you'll know that that person had probably passed away within the last 3 to 4 hours. Now, after 12 hours, the color pattern will be fixed and it will not blanch. And we'll talk a little bit more about that here in a moment as well. That number could be anywhere from 8 to 12 on some other factors. The liver will reach its maximum degree anywhere from 8 to 12 hours after death, depending on external conditions. All right, here's another very good example of that timeline from death, 30 minutes to 4 hours to 8 hours. You can kind of see the little color line and how it becomes a little bit darker the longer it goes along. You can test that blanching anywhere in between these periods right here to see if it returned to its normal color. After 12, the blood becomes fixed and it's non-blanchable. And if I missed out on blanching, that's the whitish discoloration of skin that's caused by applied pressure. That can help forensics people that may have some clue as to whether there was foul play involved, such as a rope around the neck, things of that nature. The lividity is a bluish purple color after death, and it's caused by blood pooling at its lowest point. Very quickly, the difference between livor mortis and rigor mortis, of course, pooling of blood and discoloration in livor mortis begins 30 minutes after death, and rigor, which is the stiffened muscles, begins 2 to 4 hours after death. We talked a little bit about the temperature having an effect on these things. The heat speeds up livor mortis, whereas cool temperatures may slow it down a little bit. It's also affected by anything impeding the flow of blood, such as the ground, a watch, a belt, etc. As you can, sorry about that. There we go. As you can see here, we have what I would assume is a female with either a bra, with a bra strap that had some pressure on her body and left a very identifiable print in her skin. Okay, here's some more blanching of the skin of someone who was more than likely on their back at the time of death. You can see around the buttocks and the curvature of the thoracic portion of the back, where the person was more than likely lying down in a supine position, and that's why the backside, the entire backside, isn't discolored. Okay, in summary, livor mortis occurs 2 hours after death, is when lividity begins. Actually, you can begin to see some parts of that starting anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes after death. 8 hours after death, the discoloration, 8 to 12 hours, the discoloration is permanent. And we talked about anywhere from 2 to 8 hours after death, you can press the skin, the discoloration disappears, and then it will more than likely come back. But after that 12 hours, that you can no longer do that. Ambient temperatures affect the time for lividity. Hotter equals faster. And the forensics folks can reveal approximate time of death and position of corpse if they've been moved, which is called dual lividity. And that sums it up for livor mortis. I hope you've learned something from this presentation, and I appreciate you listening in. Thank you.